Today's show is sponsored by the Electric Vehicle Association. Join up to support the electrification of transport and get the help you need to finance your own EV or clean energy future. And by Energy Sage. Visit the link in the description to find local verified solar experts, community projects and heat pump specialists in your area. And by you. Support the channel today and help us remain 100% independent. Welcome back to another episode of TEN Transport Evolved News. Thanks for joining me. Before we get into today's stories, a quick correction to last week's show, in which I said the one big beautiful bill had passed the Senate, which it hadn't. I'm sorry for the confusion, and I'll do my best to let you know if and when it progresses through the legislative process. I am only human, and I did screw up on this one. Sorry. We start today's show with news of the official reveal of Artemis, the latest in a line of production validation vehicles from solar electric vehicle company Aptera. Driven by co-CEO and co-founder Steve Fambro to the front of Aptera's headquarters, Artemis is the company's first vehicle built mostly with production intent parts. It features a revised interior, functional systems which include audio, air conditioning and some glass solar panels, a vision system and a touchscreen that controls most of the vehicle's functions. The load bay features a front lip, similar to that found in the original Honda Insight, which is designed to stop cargo from sliding from the back of the vehicle into the front passenger area. Rather than a flashy debut, the grassroots-feeling livestream spotlighted all of the teams behind Artemis, each presenting their contributions. It reflects a transparent, engineering-led approach, and if you're into the brand or curious about the nerdy bits, I think it's well worth a watch. And there's at least one more production validation vehicle to go in the form of Gemini, the company's production weight validation vehicle, before series production starts, but it's good to see this plucky company march towards what it hopes will be series production and commercial success. We've been watching with interest over the last few months as Chinese automaker BYD has hit milestone after milestone on its way to try and unseat Tesla as the world's largest electric automaker. Earlier this month, the brand celebrated selling its 1 millionth example of its smallest EV, the BYD Seagull, aka the Dolphin Surf, in some markets, and now it's done it again with the BYD Yuan Up, a car that may be better known in some markets as the BYD Atto 3. Announced via the company's Weibo page on Monday, the vehicle first went on sale in early 2022, but has already surpassed sales volumes of far more established nameplates in short order. As Electrek noted this week, this is the third of BYD's all-electric Dynasty series and the fourth of BYD's EVs to hit the 1 million vehicle mark. With BYD planning expansion into more markets, its fortunes look very good indeed. It's been a while since we covered a high-end concept car, but that's about to change thanks to the reveal of the latest concept from Mercedes-Benz performance arm, AMG. Enter the concept AMG GT XX. Yes, XX is part of the name. This sleek four-door, which previews a future production model clearly targeting the Porsche Taycan, is built on the all-new AMG EA platform, developed exclusively for top-tier models. It features a triple-motor setup using in-house axial flux motors, delivering over 1 megawatt of power at the wheels, or about 1,360 horses. The front motor engages only when needed, while the twin rear motors deliver rear-biased fun and a top speed above 360 kilometers per hour. Battery capacity is currently undisclosed, but we do know it uses an 800-volt pack with direct-cooled cylindrical cells capable of charging at more than 850 kilowatts, which is good for 400 kilometers of range in about 5 minutes of charging. As to the design, we all think Maserati will want a word. While facing criticism from both sides of the political aisle for partnering with Chinese battery specialist CATL, Viewed by some as a US security risk, Ford has reiterated its plan to build a new LFP battery plant to deliver a range of low-cost EVs. Unlike some automakers that have dramatically backpedaled on EV plans recently, Ford confirmed this week that its Marshall, Michigan facility, into which it has invested over $3 billion, is on track to start LFP battery production next year. Speaking to journalists, Lisa Drake, Ford's VP of Technology Platform Programs and EV Systems, said that although the company has been approved for more than $750 million in federal tax credits under programs signed by President Biden, the Trump administration's illegal freeze of those funds has led Ford to accelerate rather than slow its plant plans. Ford has already confirmed it wants to keep the tailwind to the headwind to allow it to not only compete with other US automakers, but Chinese market EVs as well. Czech firm Škoda, once the butt of jokes for its rear-engined Soviet-era cars, has experienced one of the largest reputational turnarounds of any automaker in Europe over the last 40 years. These days, now part of the Volkswagen Group, it's known for its range of all-electric models that offer decent specs and performance without breaking the bank. Last month, in May, it overtook Tesla in EV sales. According to Dataforce, Škoda sold 14,920 EVs during the month, surpassing the 14,055 Teslas sold in the same period. Tesla sales are currently down 40% year-over-year in Europe, while the rest of the EV industry there celebrated a 25% increase in registrations across the region. But it's not all good news. While German consumers drove a 44.9% increase in EV sales during May, French customers purchased fewer EVs year-over-year, partly due, I'd suggest, to changes in French EV incentive programs. As the arrogant worms are very keen to tell you, Canada's really big, and the distances involved in traversing the massive slabs of wilderness are truly mind-bogglingly vast for most folk. These distances often lead people to assume that EVs don't work in Canada, either as personal vehicles or heavy haulage trucks, but a new analysis by the Pembina Institute casts significant doubt on the latter, showing that as many as 1/3 of trucks in the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area could be switched to electric today without causing their operators any range anxiety or headaches. Noting that the biggest hurdle isn't the technical capabilities of vehicles, but politics and public policy, the study's authors suggest Ontario has a clear path to accelerating its transition to zero-emission trucking. What's more, while some parts of Canada are still impossibly vast for electric big rigs without massive financial outlay, the study seems to suggest other metropolitan regions of Canada could soon follow suit. General Motors has disappointed us in recent weeks by seemingly backpedaling on its promises to go all-electric, announcing a massive investment into a brand-new V8 engine that's due to be released in 2027. But this week, we learned there may be a glimmer of hope for GM's EV future. The company confirmed to Inside EVs that its research and development team is still actively pursuing a range of advanced battery technologies at its Wallace Battery Cell Innovation Center in Michigan. This includes solid-state, sulfide-based, oxide-based, sodium-ion and ceramic battery tech. GM's Director of Advanced Battery Cell Engineering told Inside EVs that the company is currently exploring 7 different anode and cathode chemistries for future use, including lithium-manganese-rich chemistry, which promises cost advantages similar to LFP cells, but with some of the performance benefits of NMC cells. It's a strong signal that GM hasn't abandoned EVs, but I am still frankly frustrated it's pouring so much money into new internal combustion platforms this late in the EV transition. When President Donald Trump was inaugurated back in January, he wasted no time in trying to halt the release of funding approved by the government under previously signed Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, as penned by his predecessor Joe Biden. Signing an executive order calling on federal agencies to stop releasing funds, President Trump's action prompted 17 different attorneys general to file suit against the order. Since then, we've heard plenty of legal experts pointing out that his actions were constitutionally grey, and this week a United States district judge in Washington state agreed, issuing a temporary injunction blocking the Trump White House from withholding promised EV charging infrastructure funding from 14 of the 17 plaintiffs: California, Colorado, Arizona, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Maryland, Oregon, Rhode Island, Washington State and Wisconsin. 3 plaintiffs, the District of Columbia, Minnesota and Vermont, did not see their claims succeed, as the judge said they didn't provide evidence that they would suffer immediate harm as a result of the Department of Transportation's decision. But while there have been some wins for EVs against the current White House, a new report from E2 and the Clean Economy Tracker shows that the impact of the Trump White House is causing significant harm in both the EV and clean energy sector. This week, data from May shows that $1.4 billion in clean energy factories and projects were cancelled last month, directly as a result of anti-green energy and anti-EV legislation and policy. So far, the tracker suggests that more than $15.5 billion of investment into clean energy programs and EVs has been cancelled this year alone, cutting nearly 12,000 potential high-paying positions within the industry. Ironically, states that lean Republican, the very states that helped Donald Trump and the GOP secure the White House and legislature, stand to lose out the most from this cancelled investment. $9 billion of the $15.5 billion, representing nearly 10,000 jobs, have been removed from Republican-led districts. Yet, it's not just job losses that are causing the auto industry to become frustrated with the current US administration. The Alliance for Automotive Innovation has just published a scathing criticism of the US federal government, in particular the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Comparing the agency's operations to those of similar agencies in other countries, the CEO of the AAI testified at a House of Representatives hearing this week that NHTSA lacks a clear strategic roadmap that would allow US automakers to implement new safety technologies. He also claimed that NHTSA is impeding progress and causing automakers in the United States to fall behind their rivals in other parts of the world. From advanced headlights to a proper set of standards for semi-autonomous operation, the use of rear-view cameras instead of mirrors, and so much more, the AAI says it has a list of dozens of regulatory standards that need to be updated or scrapped to allow for cleaner, greener, safer and smarter vehicles to be produced and sold in the US. AAI members include most major legacy automakers, but interestingly, they do not include companies like Tesla or Rivian. Our news shorts are coming in a moment, but first a word from one of today's sponsors, Energy Sage, who can help US residents green their homes' energy and heating before those federal tax incentives, seemingly inevitably, expire. Energy Sage connects you with local verified solar installers across the US and now in select markets, heat pump specialists who really know their stuff and can guide you through the process of installing solar panels or getting a heat pump installed. Not a homeowner? No worries. Energy Sage can still help you green your electricity by joining a community solar program. We used Energy Sage ourselves when looking for installers willing to help us put solar panels on the roof of our home, and their verified pros were knowledgeable and even introduced us to a great credit union that allowed us to finance the project with low monthly payments. Follow the links below to sign up for either of Energy Sage's free, no-obligation services and get the ball rolling today. If you choose to use an Energy Sage installer, we'll also receive a small referral fee, so you'll be helping the channel out too. Help the grid get greener, save money and support this show? It's a win-win-win. And now it's time for our news shorts. Volvo has recalled more than 14,000 EVs and plug-in hybrids to address a critical software malfunction with affected cars' blended braking systems. Volvo says customers should avoid one pedal and B mode until the software has been updated. It will contact affected customers. Ford has recalled 276 Mustang Mach E models to address an issue with some 2025 model year cars that could result in a vehicle rollaway. According to Ford, the park rod may fail to engage when affected vehicles are placed into park, increasing the risk of vehicles rolling away. Some 2021 through 2025 Chrysler Pacifica hybrids have been recalled by Stellantis to address an issue with improperly tightened tie-down fasteners. The recall affects both Chrysler Pacifica, Chrysler Voyager and, interestingly, Toyota Sienna hybrid minivans. GEM WAEV has recalled around 5,300 neighbourhood electric vehicles to address an issue with the retraining fasteners between the ball joint and hub strut. In affected vehicles, an improperly tightened fastener can lead to ball joint separation, which is a cause of potential loss of control. After covering 3,944 kilometres on the test track in a 24-hour period, Xiaomi has officially begun sales in China of the YU7 SUV. It's priced below the Tesla Model Y, and Xiaomi's crossover offers a longer range in its fastest guise, a 3.2-second sprint time, and much more. Republicans on Capitol Hill want to use the One Big Beautiful Bill to force the US Postal Service to sell off its brand new EV fleet and all EV charging infrastructure, forcing old and reliable gas mail trucks back onto the road. This week, the Senate Parliamentarian told the Senate that it can't force that change, at least not without a supermajority of 60 votes. UK petrol station operator MFG has announced a major expansion to its EV charging provision in and around London. It says it will expand its London EV charging network by 30% this year by deploying new ultra-fast charging station hubs and expanding existing sites. Pakistan has announced a new EV incentive policy across the nation. Called the National Electric Vehicle Policy 2025-30, the government has earmarked 100 billion rupees in funding for EV subsidies over the next 5 years. Stellantis has opened the order books in the UK for the Jeep Compass. Available as both a hybrid and all-electric model, the battery electric option promises a WLTP test range of up to 310 miles and will retail from £39,200 sterling on the road. Volkswagen has greenlit a major investment in its India 3.0 project. The project will see Volkswagen ramp up production facilities inside India to make future models, including gasoline and EV variants. While Volkswagen's investment had been planned earlier, internal issues and court cases over alleged tax evasion in India slowed the announcement. Xiaomi has just signed a deal to secure just shy of 500,000 square metres of additional land in Beijing. It aims to use the site as home of a new electric vehicle production facility, the company's third to date. The acquisition was made for an estimated 635 million yuan. BYD, in partnership with UK-based energy company Octopus Energy, has launched the official UK's first V2G bundle. Along with signing up, customers for Octopus Energy's smart bidirectional charging tariff get an all-in-one package that will see them get a BYD Dolphin as well as a bidirectional charger, all for a single price of £300 sterling a month. Sticking with V2G, a new pilot project has begun in Switzerland that will see the Swiss Post use its light delivery vehicles, that's electric bicycles, mopeds and human-electric hybrid quads, as grid-connected virtual power plants when not being used on delivery routes. Uber, in collaboration with C40, has signed a new deal to expand charging station provision for EV driving Uber operators in London, Boston and Phoenix. While Uber has managed to successfully encourage many of its drivers to dump the pump, it says not all drivers have access to the charging networks they need to confidently operate EVs. CATL's battery swapping technology, already proving popular in its home market of China, is heading to Europe. According to a recent media interview, CATL's CEO said that he views the company's battery exchange as having huge potential in Europe and could ultimately lower the cost of batteries there. Volkswagen is rumoured to be looking to in-wheel motors for a high-performance variant of its soon-to-launch ID.2 EV. According to Autocar, the company is looking to make an R-badged variant to sit at the top of the ID.2 family that would leverage quad in-wheel motors for nearly 300 kilowatts at the wheels. Leapmotor has refreshed its C16 SUV with a new 5-seat variant offered. There's a new LFP battery pack and the EV model promises up to 630 kilometres of range per charge on the Chinese test cycle. Leapmotor plans to work with Stellantis to bring the C16 to Europe very soon. Factorial Energy has unveiled a new AI system that it says will help accelerate future battery development. Called Gammatron, which sounds like it should be part of the Transformers universe, it promises advanced cycle life prediction analysis and improved electrolyte discovery for future cell designs. Shifting now to one of its competitors, QuantumScape, where the firm is celebrating the successful integration of its advanced Cobra Separator process into baseline cell production. Cobra is the name given to QuantumScape's high-throughput continuous flow separator production platform. As the impacts of China's latest EV price war starts to bite at profit margins, BYD has slowed down its production plans and factory expansions. According to local reporting, while BYD still has healthy sales volumes, it has more unsold inventory than it likes and is adjusting accordingly. Dutch energy storage system company EST Floattech, which specialises in batteries for maritime and industrial applications, has announced a new Octopus series model fitted with lithium iron phosphate battery modules. It's the first time the brand has offered LFP packs for use in watercraft. Amazon has inked a massive deal with Mercedes-Benz for 5,000 Mercedes-Benz e-sprinters to be used in delivery fleets across Europe. Amazon's all-electric delivery fleet has expanded dramatically in recent years, and Mercedes-Benz says this is the largest electric commercial customer order to date. BYD has confirmed that from next month it will take over the job of distributing EVs and plug-in hybrids across Australia. Previously, it had worked with EV Direct, supplying EVs to the intermediary for final delivery. But the announcement to change is 1 year earlier than BYD's original Australian EV expansion plans laid out. Daimler Trucks has announced the expansion of its truck charge consultancy service to commercial truck customers in the UK. Truck Charge is a service that allows existing fleet customers to learn about and implement a seamless transition from fossil fuel big rigs and delivery vehicles to electric ones. DHL's supply chain has signed a contract with Fortum Battery Recycling in Europe that will see it handling the logistics of getting electric vehicle battery packs to Fortum for recycling. Utilising specially designed packaging, DHL will handle logistics of getting packs from dealerships and breakers to Fortum. XPeng has officially picked Indonesia as the home for its first overseas production facility for EVs. While its G6 and X9 have just launched in the country, XPeng plans on establishing a new production facility there to make electric models outside of China for the first time. The Chilean city of Santiago has officially taken delivery of 300 new electric buses for use on the city's roads. It follows a further 300 that arrived last month, allowing the city to dramatically reduce its carbon footprint and emissions from public transit fleets. Talking of buses, BYD Europe has just unveiled its all-new B13B InterCity e-bus, a long-range electric bus designed for intercity travel in Europe. According to the firm, it offers a range of up to 700 kilometres of range per charge, utilising the brand's latest LFP battery tech. US oil company Chevron has announced it's getting into the lithium production business as it looks for alternative ways to make money from the earth. It's just been awarded mining rights to the Smackover Formation in Arkansas and Texas, a formation known for high lithium deposits. Toyota has made a sizable change to its North American EV production plans this week, shifting production from a previously planned Indiana facility and instead shifting production of a new 3-row electric SUV to an existing production facility in Kentucky, where the car's Subaru sibling is due to be made. CATL has announced a new joint venture with mobility service provider Hello and financial technology service company Ant Group. The new joint venture will focus on Level 4 autonomous driving and will see the three firms work to establish a new autonomous RoboTaxi service in the near future. The Morning Midas, a cargo ship that caught fire off the coast of Alaska's Aleutian Island chain nearly a month ago, has sunk. The ship was carrying vehicles from China to Mexico when a fire broke out on a deck carrying both electric and hybrid vehicles. Ford's all-electric Super Mustang Mach E has officially won the Open class at the 103rd Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. Fighting bad weather and track closures, the car, drove by Romain Dumas, secured a time of 3 minutes and 42.252 seconds. Volkswagen has confirmed that it will be giving the Volkswagen ID3 and ID4 substantial refreshes next year in 2026. Both models are due a next-generation refresh, and according to Volkswagen executives, designers are taking their cues from the soon-to-launch ID2. Bosch has unveiled a new range of frame-mounted drive units and power electronics for e-bikes this week that offer more power, lighter unit weight. Revealed at Eurobike 2025, the new lineup is suitable for everything from cargo bikes and delivery vehicles to commuter bikes. Allego has launched a new discounted summer pass program for 2025 across Europe. It allows EV owners 30% discounts across its service area for all EV fast and ultra-fast charging stations in exchange for a discounted monthly fee from June through to September. A few episodes back, we covered the launch of the new Hyundai Elexio EV in China, and this week, thanks to just published documentation from Chinese regulators, we've learned that the model doesn't use Hyundai's usual battery suppliers, but instead makes use of a BYD-supplied battery pack, which lowers costs. BYD, as part of its goal of expanding its market reach and market share, has officially commissioned 2 more cargo ships to carry electric and plug-in hybrid models around the world. The 2 new ships have just set sail, and they can carry 7,000 and 9,200 vehicles respectively. Lucid has confirmed its mid-size EV platform, one that's aimed to be more affordable, will officially arrive next year. The brand says the platform will underpin at least 3 new EV models with prices around the $50,000 price point. We'll share more info as and when we have it. And finally, for the news shorts, Fortescue has unofficially unveiled a new prototype electric train. It's calling its Infinity Train, designed to haul tons of iron ore more than 1,100 kilometres across Australia. Fortescue says energy recaptured from braking with a full load will power the train back to the mine when empty. And those are your news shorts. There'll be more next week. Our final 2 stories are next, but first, a quick word about our most important sponsors. Transport Evolved is celebrating its 15th year, and we've worked hard to stay fiercely independent, thanks entirely to the generous support of viewers like you. We've always kept our content free to access, and we'd love to keep doing that. But to do so, we need your support now more than ever. If you watched our recent video on what's been happening to the channel at YouTube, you'll know that shifting algorithms, broken moderation tools, auto-unsubscribing of fans without their permission, and intentional silencing of creators who don't align with the current US administration have all taken a toll on this channel. Add to that the ever-growing number of ads auto-inserted into videos over which we have limited control, and the result is a growing channel with declining income. And that's why we now rely on Patreon as our primary source of funding for everything. That includes covering our bills, making payroll for the rest of the team, and offering health insurance. While I haven't paid myself in a long time, if we don't increase our income somehow, things are only going to get worse, unless you're willing to help us out. You can support the channel from just $1.50 a month, helping us fight disinformation and having fun while continuing to do what we do without having to rely on, well, more conventional YouTube tactics like advertising products that you know we don't believe in. And if just 400 viewers signed up to our plugged-in tier on Patreon, which is $6.50 a month or $65.52 a year if you pay annually, we'd be able to sleep far more soundly at night and make more great content. If that sounds like something you can afford, please consider it. And it would mean a lot to us if you did. But if you're unable to support us financially, please don't worry. Interacting with and watching our content also helps this channel enormously, so keep spreading the word. Whatever you do, we are deeply grateful, truly, whether you support us with money, a share, or simply by watching to the very end. Now, on to our final 2 stories. Swedish battery specialist Northvolt has gone through the metaphorical ringer this year, with financial woes forcing it into bankruptcy. While some of its subsidiaries overseas currently remain operational, there's been significant worry that it was game over for the brand's home location, with bankruptcy trustees dealing with inquiries from multiple sources over rescue deals. This week, just 1 week after we learned that Swedish truck band Scania was interested in saving Northvolt Northvolt's labs from the abyss, Northvolt's appointed bankruptcy trustee has confirmed that it's received what it is calling a, quote, indicative bid from a foreign entity interested in acquiring the company's business. It is still early days, and we don't know exactly what that will entail, or indeed if it will keep existing facilities open, but it is promising news if early days. So watch this space. And finally, earlier this year, we told you about a new partnership signed between Xiaomi and the Nürburgring in Germany, a deal which saw Xiaomi get advertising rights at the Green Hell, as well as some exclusive media partnerships. Since that deal has been signed, Xiaomi has been working on its connection to the Green Hell, spending as much time as possible on the track with its SU7 Ultra sports sedan. Just a few weeks back, it set a new track record for production EVs, having set the record last year for an all-electric, non-production model. Well, just as we were preparing for today's show, the company posted another track time with another race-prepared SU7 Ultra prototype. It slashed 24 seconds off its previous prototype record from last year to become the quickest car around the track that's not a purpose-built race car. At 6 minutes, 22.091 seconds, there are only 3 cars that have been faster through history: the Porsche 956, Porsche 919 Hybrid Evo, and Volkswagen ID.2 R. While this variant of the SU7 Ultra is only going to be sold in very limited quantities, just 100 in the so-called Nürburgring edition, that kind of performance is bound to get petrol heads and electron heads with the required bank balances salivating at the prospect of owning one of their very own. And on that note, we are done for today's show. As always, a massive thank you to the Electric Vehicle Association for sponsoring the channel. The EVA has been advocating for EVs since 1967 and believe, just like we do here, that our future depends on us making the switch to clean, green, equitable transportation. They can connect you with EV educators, local meetups, and can help you make your own transition to a cleaner future. And if you'll become a member, you'll gain access to a clean energy and EV loan program created in partnership with the Colorado Clean Energy Credit Union. You can find out more by going to myeva.org. And thanks to Energy Sage. Follow the link below to connect with trusted, verified solar experts who can help you put panels on your roof, help you join a community solar program, or even get you a heat pump installed. Taking control of your energy future has never been easier. If you'd like to support this channel, you can do that from just $1.50 a month on Patreon, and if you can, we'd really appreciate it. As I said earlier, if we can increase our supporter base with just 400 of our 152,000 subscribers donating the equivalent of one fancy coffee a month, we would be in a much better financial position. Don't forget too that we're also available for third-party video production work in and around the Portland, Oregon area, and you can find our latest merch, including our fantastic new Pride designs from Erin, at the merch store. Down below, you'll also find an Amazon affiliate link that helps support the channel when you use it. We publish content every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday here, and every Sunday we drop 2 videos over on Transport Evolved Take 2, our informal behind-the-scenes channel. However, and I want to make sure that this gets mentioned, we are taking an entire week off next week for July 4th. That means no new content from any of us. We are a tiny team and we have been running ourselves ragged since the new year. So not only are we not making content, but we're not going to be publishing any videos between now and July 7th. But don't worry, because we do have some social media posts to go out on YouTube to make sure that you have something fun to watch from us while we are gone. To finish, remember this. You are valid, you are loved, and you belong where the hateful courts and politicians try to tell you otherwise. And I know some people aren't happy about this segment and say we're being political, but look, I don't think it is political. It's called looking out for each other and being empathic. It's important at this pivotal time in history to be kind and caring to one another, to resist hate and division, to stand up for decency, community, and basic human rights. It's also okay if you feel that you need a break, because even the strongest people need time off. And if that sounds like you, it is okay to take that break. And because we try to lead by example, that is one of the reasons we are taking the whole of next week off. So recuperate, rest, and come back stronger. Then you can get involved, you can protest peacefully, and you can build communities that celebrate and lift diverse voices, grow together, and help make sure that mistakes from the past stay there and help inform our future. That is, after all, one way that we evolve. So until next time, stay safe, whoever you are, wherever you are, whoever you love. Be an ally, be kind, be that positive change you want to see in the world, and please, for the sake of everyone's future, don't let hate or ignorance win. As always, keep evolving.